The home of some of the most powerful civilizations ever built, Asia is a continent with an endless variety of cultures and ideas. It is a land of innovation as well as tradition, ceaselessly combining the new and the old. Additionally, it is home to approximately 4 billion people, making it the most populous continent in the world. With increased technology and overseas opportunities, Asian people started a long, often difficult diaspora to other countries, most notably the United States of America. And as with any process of assimilation, there was prejudice.
Mr. Go right through.
My dad was half Chinese and half Hawaiian, and my mother's Swedish.
Later on, Linda Hunt would win an Oscar for playing a Chinese man in The Year of Living Dangerously.
Right. Billy Kwan.
That was 1982, almost 40 years later. Basically everything else in the country had changed, except white people being cast as Asians.
In America, popular culture is an undeniable tour de force. Television has an uncanny ability to sway public opinion and influence the way citizens view marginalized groups. A majority of Asians in film are whitewashed, so they have no jurisdiction over how they are perceived. This leads to blind representation based solely on stereotypes.
So I hate that whitewashing in Hollywood is a thing, because without Chinese women role models out there, younger girls or girls like me, women like me, we don't see that that's a possibility, and so we don't strive for that type of stuff. So
these stereotypical portrayals of Asian Americans paint them as the other, strange caricatures of humans. And like any discrimination, this stems from a lack of knowledge. Because Asian Americans are perceived as otherworldly and unrelatable, it is easier to justify prejudice against them. This was a specific breed of prejudice, which usually happened under the radar. More often than not, the prejudice consisted of a distasteful glance, a few rude words, an unpleasant exchange. But sometimes, the prejudice consisted of outright violence and discrimination. Although the discrimination was definitely lighter than the racially fueled incidents targeting African Americans, it still created a significant impact which deserves more publicity.
Hey, come on. Come on. There you go. Hey, you busted his lip.
Oh my God, look at what you did to him. Oh my God.
Just kill me. Just kill me. Kill me. Just kill me.
The United incident featured an act of aggression against a well-off Asian doctor. Asians are prototyped as doctors and other professionals. However, the grave reality is that Asian Americans are not afforded the same job opportunities as Caucasians.
So I've even seen it with my mom applying to jobs and looking, just for a job in the workforce, and people maybe see her and off the bat she sees that she's an Asian woman. Maybe she communicates her English a little bit slower, even though she's fluent and very proficient in any kind of job. But people see her, and because they don't look like her, they maybe cast judgments quickly and think that they're not going to identify with her as quickly. They're not going to, accept her. People tend to gravitate towards other people that look like them, and unfortunately don't always give the time to maybe someone like my mom, who is very deserving and skilled for the job, but just because of her looks and where she comes from, they don't give her that chance.
Yeah. 我是姓郑，叫金华。我是1990年底来美国的。当时呢是探亲。
During Independence Day weekend, business is lighter, so we close for a few days and go on vacation to a nearby place. We go on trips with other families to walk around and have fun. Besides this, the only other day we close is Thanksgiving. If I were American and spoke fluent English, I would most likely have a different occupation.
Okay. Me and my wife, and we come to the state, with a very healthy, wealthy background. When we were in China, in National Park of China, we both are principal dancers. We have a good salary, everything. And we moved to America, we saw we have better life, and with the 33 weeks working, we thought this is going to be better. But when we heard the word, your unemployment, you lost your job, and we got scared. She was crying. When we went to the unemployment office, there's an interviewer. They will interview you if you qualify for the benefit. So when he told us the way he taught, and I translate to my wife, she said, "What are you talking about? Are we lost job? We're poor people?" And she started crying.
74% of Asian Americans are foreign-born, making it difficult to get jobs. However, the term model minority, coupled with the idea that Asian Americans are physically subordinate, leads to a higher chance of being robbed than their Caucasian counterparts. 77% of violent crimes against Asian males and about half of violent crimes against Asian females were committed by strangers.
I have heard that it's common for Asian Americans to be robbed because most people know that we carry money on us. My hardest experience in America happened on March 3rd this year. I was delivering takeout and I was robbed by an African American man. He pointed his gun against my heart and demanded money. I gave him all the money I had.
I have a very good friend who are Peking opera artists. They were very good, but their occupation is Peking opera. Come to America, who knows Peking opera? Nobody. Not even Chinese people, most people like it because it's so traditional, so old culture. I feel sad, but when they moved to here, nobody recognized that, so they have to be forced. They've been forced to change their career. So what they do nothing. Their English not good. They don't have any technique to survive beside picking opera. So only thing they can pick it up without technique, without going back to school, is change their career to waiter or waitress. It was tough. They have to work day and night, very late hours, running all over the city, deliver the food. They don't know the address. They have to. That time they don't have a GPS. They have a map on their lap. They go like this and looking back. It's harsh and also dangerous that time. If you don't know the road, and of course, besides they get robbed. People follow them when they knock the door. Or they don't give them money. They took the food. They don't give them money. They don't pay it, and they kick them out, or they've been turned around and robbed it. So it was very scary.
Due to both lack of publicity and lack of knowledge, these incidents were scrubbed over. Thus the term model minority was created. The term alludes to the socio-economic success Asian immigrants have experienced in America, but its underlying intent is malicious. Model minority serves as a blanket statement to cover up all sorts of injustices. By emphasizing Asian American success, the term denied any instance of discrimination, subsequently undermining their struggles.
What do you think accounts for the high academic achievement at this school?
I think just the changing demographics.
How so?
I think that the Asian population, as they became more predominant in this area, that the parents have come from a system, they all teach for a test, and that's their biggest thing.
Q says Asian American students consistently outperform their white classmates on standardized tests, and not just here. California's top 5 ranked public high schools are all majority Asian. Nationally, Asian students lead in terms of overall grade point averages. They outscore their peers on the math portion of the SATs and are more likely to take math-heavy classes like physics and calculus. So, those high scores beg the politically incorrect question, are Asians naturally more intelligent?
This is coming from hard work. It's nothing like it come from laziness or you just say, I'm Asian, I can get this. No, It's you look behind. It's a hard work. It's tons of work. Like what I involve with our kids in here in a dance school. They have to do their academic classes well enough to be able to stay focused in our class. So it's like a small competition. Our world we come from, we experience a very hard life. We want to better our life, prove ourselves. That's why Asian people working so hard in America. In America, some people, already be in such a nice atmosphere. They just used to. They're in their comfortable zone. Not like us. We know how hard the life behind us. We want to make that better. So that's why Asian people or Asian family even influence to their child to make a better life, to push their mindset. Says you want to get a better life, you better work harder today. Don't be sad about who you are. Do not look back where you come from. Look straight ahead. Better yourself, better what you're doing, people will recognize you. And people will agree with you because when you get better, you will be strong.
So in my position of small power as Miss Georgia, I just encourage girls that our age or girls still in high school to dream big. Like, don't fear. Just because you've never seen it before doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I never thought that being a 5'3", half Chinese Miss Georgia was possible for me. But just dream big and don't let fear get in the way. Don't let what other people think of you get in the way. If you know who you are, you know your capabilities, your skills, and what you can bring to the table, run with that with full force and prove people wrong. That's been part of my mission as Miss Georgia, is just proving these stereotypes wrong about pageant girls, and especially as maybe an Asian pageant girl. And I think step by step in small ways, people are inspired by that, and we can break down those barriers and those walls.